CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. A fatality inquiry report into the 2019 death of a Calgary social worker has been released. 6 years after the killing of Deborah Onwu, the report says a lack of communication and safety standards contributed to the incident. Tim Brooke explains what advocates are asking for now.
In October 2019, Deborah Onwu was clocking into another day at Woods Homes, a mental health center in southwest Calgary. It was the last shift she'd ever work.
Even though skilled workers are at risk, without safe workplaces, legislation, and protective policies, tragedies do happen.
Onwu was stabbed to death by her 18-year-old client, Brandon Newman. He has since pled guilty to second-degree murder. A new fatality inquiry into Onwu's death highlights several concerns that may have contributed.
Today, we're calling on the Alberta government to accept those recommendations and commit to implementing them in the fall sitting.
The first two of four main recommendations call for more information sharing between agencies and between employers and their workers. In 2019, Onwu was not informed her client had previously attacked another caseworker, and she was working alone.
The turnover rate across all agencies is very high. The mental health and psychological trauma that comes with the job isn't easy for people.
The report also calls for changes to guardianship for minors at the threshold of adulthood and new sector-specific health standards.
We know workers know the jobs best. They understand the hazards best. They understand the ways in which controls can be put in place to make the work safer.
Onwu's former union is pushing for the Alberta government to implement the recommendations. The province tells CTV News the departments from involved ministries will review any recommendations to determine whether changes to our current policies or practices are needed. The union wants to see action now to protect the next Onwu.
During the inquiry, the inspector said it himself. The employer was found to be in compliance with Alberta legislation. So what does that say about the legislation?
Tim joins us now. Tim, Deborah Onwu's family has been very outspoken since her death.
Well, the Onwu family spokesperson is currently overseas, and so she was unable to be here today. She did, however, sit in on many of those hearings. She told a union rep last week that the entire family is really just ready to move on, and so she hopes these recommendations being accepted will make that process a lot easier. Back to you.
Okay, Tim, thank you. A Calgary cyclist killed in a crash last week is being remembered as a devoted family man and a passionate ambassador for the biking community. Philip Goheen was well known in Calgary's mountain biking community, considered a mentor, an advocate, and a friend to many. Several of his adventures on trails across Alberta and within Calgary were documented on his YouTube channel called Range Rider MTB. Police say the 40-year-old was riding in a marked crosswalk at 17th Avenue and 101st Street Southwest last Friday afternoon when he was struck and killed by an oncoming SUV. Those close to Goheen say his world revolved around his wife Candace and his daughter Hannah, who were always his #1 priority.
There's nothing else he wanted more than to give them the best life possible and be there and be the best dad and husband that he was. So comfortable and chill to talk to, and just a wealth of knowledge, right? So anything that you wanted to do, you pretty much talked to Phil about it, and he was the most supportive individual for everybody, right? If anybody had a dream, a goal, something they wanted to do, whether it was on the bike or in their personal life, he was just automatically supportive.
A GoFundMe page has been set up to support Goheen's family, and friends are also planning to organize a memorial ride in the coming weeks at Moose Mountain in Bragg Creek. Police are continuing to investigate the incident. Alberta's police watchdog has cleared 4 Calgary police officers of any wrongdoing in an arrest that injured a 13-year-old boy. In November 2023, a demonstration was held downtown in support of the people of Gaza. An ACERT report says body-worn police cameras show the boy spit at an officer's leg. The boy was then brought to the ground, pinned and handcuffed, as shown on officers' cameras and social media video. At the time, the young teen's family told CTV News they took him to the Children's Hospital suffering from a concussion, vomiting, and other medical issues. Police told the boy he was under arrest for assault, but charges were never filed. ACERT concludes the officer's use of force was reasonable under the circumstances. Charges have been laid against 5 people in a wildlife poaching investigation. 3 of the suspects sold various items to undercover officers, including a bald eagle feather headdress, black bear claw necklaces, and a raptor talon dance stick. One of the suspects, Simon Paul of Montana, is an American fugitive wanted in that country for killing birds of prey. Informants told authorities that Paul was killing eagles and hawks in Canada as well. Along with Paul, Teresa and Eli Snow of Morley, James Britton and Sophia Soriano of Calgary are facing 34 charges under Alberta's Wildlife Act and 9 charges under the Criminal Code of Canada. The Calgary Flames GM says the team has no interest in bringing Dylan Dubé back to the team. In July, the former Flame was one of 5 hockey players acquitted of sexual assault stemming from a World Juniors team incident in 2018. The NHL recently reinstated the athletes. They are eligible to take part in games starting December 1st. The Flames general manager said the team is not interested in re-signing Dylan Dubé at this point, adding he probably needs a fresh start. Alberta Health Services has issued a measles warning for Calgary after an infectious person visited public buildings. The warnings are for the Alberta Children's Hospital Emergency Department between September 11th and 14th, and for the Mission Medical Clinic on September 13th. Anyone who may have been exposed and is not fully vaccinated against measles should watch for symptoms. Health officials are encouraging those who think they may have the highly contagious disease to stay home and call the measles hotline. Sobeys distribution center workers are now on the picket line after officially going on strike this afternoon. Tyson Fedor is in Balzac at the Sobeys facility where workers are advocating for more respect and a new contract.
And Tara, this follows the lockout notice served to employees on Monday from the company. After that, Teamsters, the union that represents these members behind me, then filed a strike notice with Sobeys. Now, that was in a move to help protect its members, is what the union tells me today. And Sobeys is also telling me that issuing the lockout notice is a step that it believes does not come lightly. And at this point, they're hoping discussions will continue soon to reach a resolution. 251 union members walking out the front doors of this Sobeys distribution center straight for the picket line.
Today is D-Day.
Teamsters Local 987 says after 21 days of negotiating through a mediator, employees have had enough.
Refused to continue meaningful bargaining. We had never left the table.
The union says after years of being deemed essential during the pandemic, workers are being paid below industry standards and want respect.
But then when it comes time to bargain, they're not compensated as essential, and workers are fed up as a whole.
The strike will impact major grocers and convenience stores throughout central and southern Alberta, and the longer the stalemate goes on, the more it will impact the consumer.
Listening to the two parties talk, I'm not confident that this one will be a quick one. So yeah, I do think we within days will start to see, things not getting distributed, things, store shelves starting to get empty a little bit.
Labor relations expert John Foster says the past 5 years have been really difficult for workers in the grocery industry.
Workers in general are grumpy. They're feeling disrespected. They've gone through a rough few years. And so even when we think particularly about workers in the food industry and the grocery store industry, right, it's been a really difficult 4 or 5 years.
Sobeys tells CTV News in a statement that this warehouse is automated and the company does not anticipate significant operational disruptions. As for the union, they plan on marching with their signs until a fair deal is reached.
We will be here as long as it takes. As long as it takes. At the end of the day, these members, these workers, are not just standing up for Sobeys warehouse employees, they're standing up for all workers.
Sobeys says it respects the bargaining process and has made every effort to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. The Alberta government is launching an ad campaign to push its side of the labor dispute with teachers. The finance minister's office says it's still determining where the ads will run, how much they'll cost, and when they will start an ad campaign. The teachers union has been running an ad campaign for weeks. The province and the union haven't met since last week to discuss a collective agreement for teachers at public, separate and francophone schools. The Teachers Association has set a strike deadline for October 6th. 7 Calgary seniors are being honored for achievements reached after retirement. The top 7 over 70 awards highlight the huge contributions many older adults are making in our community. The winners this year are still working or volunteering in the worlds of business, education, science, social enterprises, arts, and sports. 92-year-old Ron Freckleton is one of the honorees. He is a speaker, an author, an advocate, and a fundraiser for dementia and Alzheimer's awareness.
I do it because I love to do it. It's as simple as that. I'm having so much fun, and I believe that I'm making a difference.
Age shouldn't really matter in a lot of ways, and just because you've retired doesn't mean you need to retire. You can be rewired and refired and be able to return and give in other ways.
Right now, almost 1/5 of Canadians are 65 years of age and older. For more information about the top 7 over 70 program, you can go to their website. Well, it's a little windy, but very warm today. Danielle joins us now. Is this what we should be expecting in the days ahead?
Yeah, enjoy this toasty weather because that's in the longer term, even for most of the 10-day trend as well. So hopefully you're enjoying it, this little extension of summer as fall officially begins on Monday. And it won't feel much like fall on Monday. So there's some news for us. Okay, let's talk about temperatures at the moment. We're sitting at 21 degrees in the city, but check out just a small distance away in Lethbridge, 27. Medicine Hat at 25, Brooks at 26. There's a lot of warm weather in southern Alberta, and certainly Lethbridge over to Medicine Hat is that warmer pocket in the province. Well, one of the warmer pockets anyway. Radar and satellite, nothing to talk about, but you can see what's happening around us. So we had more space with this ridge of high pressure yesterday. There was nothing in the distance, and now you can see the jet stream is starting to get close to us. That's going to open us up because the weather pattern changes for tomorrow. It's a short-term change for tomorrow, but it will allow a little more cloud cover in, and there's a small chance of shower activity in the city tomorrow. But you can see what's starting to make its way over the mountains. This will be more of a central Alberta type thing that they will have to deal with as we go through the rest of this evening. But in southern Alberta, Calgary included, it should be quiet for this evening and much of tomorrow as well. It may be a little breezy at times tomorrow. I'll show you that hour by hour in just a second, but this is showing you the little blip. We lose the ridge that's off to the east, but then we have another one that will build in for Saturday. It's just that tomorrow it won't be quite as stable. And then we're going to be quite unstable on Sunday, and temperatures will cool because we have this trough that will make its way in. I'll show you what that means for the 10-day trend in just a moment here, but hour by hour first. And here's the waves of cloud cover that we could see. So in the morning, expect a mix of sun and cloud, also some sunny breaks. In the afternoon, same type of idea. And this could come with a couple isolated showers, but there's a smaller chance of the showers, good chance of getting on and off cloud cover throughout the day. Saturday, things become more stable as that next little ridge of high pressure builds in. So a lot of sunshine expected in southern Alberta for Saturday, and then Sunday we will start to switch up again. All right, just a day planner for tomorrow. 11 degrees at 8 a.m. And then in the afternoon, you're looking at a high of 23. So just much like today, but a little more cloud cover expected throughout the day for tomorrow at times. And again, that small chance of a sprinkle. All right, then we get up to 27, 26, 27 degrees for Saturday, mainly sunny skies as that second little ridge builds in. And then we lose that. A trough will build in for Sunday. That opens us up to showers, potentially even some non-severe thunderstorms. It won't be quite as warm with a high of 23 degrees, but we're still holding on to the 20s. 21 degrees for Monday to kick off the first official day of fall. And then as you can see, as we go through this 10-day trend, we're looking at lots of warmth continuing right and through Wednesday of next week. We should remain in those 20s, and there's still more 20s after that. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Some remarkable video out of Vaughan, Ontario, north of Toronto today, where residents say roaming coyotes are out of control. Home surveillance videos show a pack of coyotes taking over a driveway and appearing to share a meal. Another one has found its way into a backyard in pursuit of a small dog. Sightings in the city have soared this year, with local officials saying they're now looking into hiring licensed trappers. 14 people who won a whopping $50 million lotto jackpot got their check today.
Félicitations!
They live on a remote fishing village in Quebec. Just about all of the village's 500 souls gathered to celebrate the news. Some in the group work in a fish plant. They have been playing the lottery together for nearly 20 years, winning very little over the years until now.
Was just completely frozen. I was shaking. I said, this can't be real. This is not real. You know, like, I can't believe this is happening.
I couldn't believe it, and I still can't. It's hard to imagine. It's emotional. Yeah. It changes your life.
The winners get $3.5 million each. 4 of them live on the same street. They have now dubbed it Millionaires Row. Thanks for your company. Our evening news is preempted today for the NFL. We will have more on the top stories on our late news tonight or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.